Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Chit Chat with Dorri and Dr. Lorraine Wilson. However, I am flying solo today. Dr. Lorraine Wilson is on holidays, hopefully enjoying herself up at a beautiful cottage. Well, today we have some exciting things lined up for you. We've got our guest speaker, Tonya Vanderhart. We've got our monthly beauty box draw, which we are going to do at the end of our chit chat today. So stay tuned. You have the opportunity to win a mindset equals motivation 30-minute complimentary call given to us from Tonya. And also with the beauty basket, we have machine, we have a massager, we have a couple of gift cards to give away, and we've got a massage candle. Oh, there she is. Hello, Tonya Vanderhart. How are you?
Around people, but this is going to be fun.
Yeah, can't wait, can't wait. So for those of you that don't know Tonya Vanderhart, professionally, she is a mindset coach and beauty business owner with Monat, who we all know about. We were using our products while we're in lockdown. I still bring them in. I love it. I'm also with Monat, but we are going to get started and hopefully learn a little bit about what mindset is, what it entails. I know that my age bracket didn't really understand the term mindset, didn't know what to do about it. I think we're just used to flying by the seat of our pants, you know. All that kind of stuff was relatively new to me as well. So maybe you can give us some background on it, and hopefully we'll do some exercises to see how we can use mindset to set our goals, get some motivation, and not fly by the seat of our pants.
Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Okay, yeah, so thank you, Dorri, for even having me on. This is so cool. First of all, the fact that Dorri started this while in lockdown, and I know how much out of your comfort zone this was. Obviously, Angela and I were telling her how great this would be, and then seeing you do this is so fun. Yeah. Okay, so you guys, mindset. I have been doing mindset coaching for 5.5 years now. I was in marketing prior to, and my background is in competitive soccer, and I feel like that had a big impact on just like realizing the power of our mindset. Obviously, like realizing self-talk when you're telling yourself you're doing good, or, you know, like really starting to get ready for a soccer game. I think that a lot of it happens up here in any sport, any athlete, and then you get into like business or different things and you realize it's all the exact same stuff. It doesn't really matter who you are, what your profession is. A lot of life is really up here, and success and all that stuff. So I started becoming really curious about it and just doing a lot of like self-help. Like I was reading books, I was hiring coaches, just learning a lot about it. And I left my corporate job 5.5 years ago to help women just better their mindset. And I helped athletes and so forth. I just think that in life, we can be so hard on ourselves and we can beat ourselves up. We're always comparing ourselves to other people. There's things that we want to accomplish in this lifetime. And as much as we want to go ahead and do it, no matter what it is, try even something new, like a hobby or something. But we're so afraid to not be good enough or as good as the next person. And we miss out on just so much like life and opportunity because of our mindset and our fear and our doubt and our self-talk and all the things. So mindset is pretty simple, but it's complex, I guess, in the layers of our conditioning and what we've been through and where all of these beliefs and stuff come from. But essentially, once you start understanding the power of your mindset, it actually can be very simple with like small tweaks each day. So I wanted to start off by sharing that there's two types of mindsets. And Dorri shared it a little bit in her email, but you either have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. So if this is all like super new to you, we're going to start here. But mindset is just beliefs. It's a set of beliefs that you have adopted over the years. If you think about it as a child, I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. I'm Blakely, I'm sure everybody knows who she is because she's on Dorri's stuff, my stuff. But they are so innocent. They don't have like doubts or fears or anything like that in terms of like they think that they can take on the world, and essentially they can, right? So over the years we start to pick up fears. We start to pick up, you know, we watch experiences. Maybe I always think about like in school, you could have all the confidence in the world, and then you ask a silly question and maybe someone laughs at you, and now you're literally afraid to ever use your voice, speak up, say something, and that experience carries on in your life. Now maybe you're less outgoing, you don't say the things you want to say. And so it's so important to realize that like we can always go back to like that innocence if we realize like the stories and the experiences that have, I guess, just like dimmed our light a little bit inside because of all these like fears and stuff. So if you have the mindset of this is who I am, this is who I've always been, this is like where I come from, this is my upbringing, these are my experiences, and so forth. So therefore nothing can change. Like this is just like my life. This is who I am, what I do. That's a fixed mindset. So maybe you can let us know in the comments if that sounds relatable to you, and you don't have to, but even just thinking about like the language and the story you tell yourself, like, yeah, I want to go do that, but I've never done anything like that before. This is who I've always been. And so therefore I don't feel maybe like qualified enough to do it, or I'm not outgoing enough to do it. I've always been this like quiet, shy person. So you don't feel like you can change because this is like who you are. Versus a growth mindset is essentially this is who I am, but I know that if I wanted to, I could change. I could, you know, make changes even if they're uncomfortable. I could push myself out of my comfort zone, but essentially just knowing that like there's opportunity for you to switch it up. It's not concrete. So it's either like concrete is fixed, not concrete is a growth mindset. And to change your life in any capacity, it doesn't have to be business, it doesn't have to be anything like that. You have to have a growth mindset of just being open. I think that's like the first step to it all. And I'll just say, like, again, in my own life, this has happened so many times where it's like, who am I to do that? Like, who am I to start my own business? Who am I to, you know, start a podcast? Or who am I? Like, we say that stuff all the time. And it's just like breaking through the fix to the growth of being like, okay, but deep breath, like I can make small changes. I can find somebody who's done it before me and just like see how she's done it. Okay, maybe I've never played a sport before, but you know what? This is going to be the week where I start a new sport. I'm going to do dance. I've never danced before. I'm sure Dorri has a lot of people like that where they're like, I'm not a dancer. Like you tell yourself who you are can't change. I've never been a dancer. I don't know how to dance versus, okay, I've never danced before, but heck, let's sign up for a class and learn. Like it's never too late. So
and don't you think that that builds confidence too, Tonya? Like every time you meet a challenge and at least give yourself the opportunity to try it. And if it, you know, even trying it, I think gives you confidence. We all know how I felt about doing what I'm doing right now today. I kept saying to you guys, oh, I don't understand Instagram. Oh, I don't know about social media. Oh, I don't want to go on there. You guys do it, blah, blah, blah. And then I just thought one day, you know what? I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to try it. And now I love it. You know, you're not going to get me off the screen now. No, but every time you conquer something, it builds confidence. And that's really what we need for our self-esteem. And like you say, being closed-minded, you're missing out on so much rather than just opening up and just at least try. But I never understood what mindset was. It's one of those wellness words, you know, or energy words, or, you know, I never truly understood. And when I don't know if everybody knows, but Tonya is my daughter-in-law as well, mother of my bestest little granddaughter in the whole world, soon to have a grandson as well. So we go back a little ways. But when you were living with us is when I actually started listening to the way you and Angeline were talking, and we started having our little what we called roundtable discussions. And we started, first of all, we're just talking, chit chatting, and getting my specials organized or whatever we were chatting about. And then soon we have, we got the angel cards out, and soon we start playing around with the angel cards, and then all of a sudden we're writing questions down and holding them on our solar plexus and letting our body tell us what our answer is,
Whether I'm gonna be a girl or a boy.
Yeah, girl or boy. So
Travis is thinking
I think it's definitely an evolvement for my age, and definitely older, because I know my mom is would she's not into it, right? They are maybe the closed-minded set, where you guys in your now 30s, I think, really started bringing this to me anyways, and I'm so happy. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, of course. And I want to share, so Angeline and I run a beauty business essentially together, and we had Dorri on as a guest speaker, and I remember like Dorri was like, okay, I'm actually really nervous for like, it's so weird because I know this stuff like the back of my hand. Like I've been doing this for years and years and years, and it's nothing new to me. But doing that small new thing where now you're like being seen as a teacher, and you're like, whoa, like this is different. Now I have eyes on me. And but afterwards, again, exactly as Dorri said, the whole confidence piece, when you push yourself out of your comfort zone, no matter what, like how big the comfort zone is or not, you are so energized and empowered, and you build so much confidence and self-belief in yourself, because first of all, everyone was obsessed with Dorri. Like they wanted her on like weekly. They were like, okay, I want her on all the time. Like this thing. But I also remember you afterwards were like, that was actually really fun. Whereas like when we start something, where fear is like it's like false evidence appearing real, and it's not real at all. But you're telling yourself this story of like, oh my gosh, what if I mess up my words? What if I forget what I was talking about? Like, what if nobody can even relate or resonate, or whatever the heck the story may be? You're making all of that up, and it's honestly never as bad as you think it is. It's like usually you come out and you're like, I want to do it again. So I remember when I was in Dominican and I tried surfing, like I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't think I can do this. It's literally in life, so many little things that you do this all the time. I don't know if I'll be good at it. Oh gosh, la la la. And then you just get up and you go do it, and you're like, hey, it wasn't the best, but that was so much fun. Now I want to do it again and get better at it, or whatever. So maybe even you guys can think about areas you've done this, where like you have tried something new and absolutely loved it, and felt better about yourself, or felt more confident. And it's like, that is all we have to keep doing in this lifetime, is like all these little things that add up to more confidence, and also just like more fun in life. Like,
exactly.
It's so much more fun if we just try new things.
Absolutely. Like getting yourself out of your comfort level is the best thing you can do for yourself.
100%. I also just wanted to touch on, a lot of this is like your self-image of yourself and your story. And again, these are things that you can change. You just have to be like open, willing, and honestly a little bit aware of just what you're telling yourself, like your inner dialogue. So you could stub your toe and literally be like, could this day get any worse? Like I just stubbed my toe, I woke up late, like, and all of a sudden when you start telling yourself that stuff, honestly, it's the law of attraction, whether, that sounds woo-woo for a lot of people, but it is just the law of energy of like, what you put out is what you get back. So when you go into a day saying like, oh my God, could it get any worse? You're pretty much inviting a crappy day into your life, right? It's like poor me attitude, and all of a sudden then whatever happens. But it's like this series of crappy things, versus you stub your toe and you do whatever, and you're like, well, it could only get better from here on out. Like it's that little shift in perspective of like your dialogue up here. So now you're going through your day thinking like, okay, the worst is out of the way and now it can only get better. Or just like, what else good could happen today? And I think it's just like, if I could give one piece of advice, it's those little things that people need to start doing, where it's like, be open to seeing if anything good does come. You know, something good, you might get a phone call from a friend you haven't talked to in a while, and, you know, just a good day of these little random things that happen if you put it out there. But
Exactly.
it's honestly so much of what we say in our heads.
It's almost like we're sabotaging ourselves, but it's a little bit like self-hypnosis. Like if you think keeping negative thoughts and you keep thinking in that way, then that's what you're going to train yourself to do always. But if you realize it, and I think a lot of the problem is people don't realize it. Like you have to do like a self-check and see where does your thought process go automatically. And sometimes you're going to have to be a little bit more aware of what you say and what you think, and reel yourself back in to changing that up. Is the cup half empty or is the cup half full? You know? Little
Yeah.
things like that. But I do believe like it's self-hypnosis, because if you tell yourself something enough times, you are going to start to believe it.
Yeah, it's true. I was telling Dorri before this call that, again, okay, yeah, sure, I use this in business a lot of the time, and I help women, you know, even like athletes and whatever, but I was telling her that I use this for my birth as well. Once you understand the power of your mindset and you do understand like self-hypnosis, essentially, rewiring your brain, reprogramming your thoughts, like retraining the way you think, it can go into any area of your life. So I remember, obviously, your first birth, for any of my moms out there, you've heard every story in the book, 24-hour birth, all the things. And I was honestly quite afraid. I'm like, I have no idea what experience I'm going to get. But I started journaling all the time, just saying like, honestly, the birth that I wanted. It was fast. It was healthy. It came on, like all these just like different things, and I felt empowered and all these things. Anyways, my birth was really fast. Like it essentially went away. I had written it out, and I think it's like, I don't know, I really do believe maybe it was a coincidence. You can believe whatever you kind of want, but I also think that like, why not try and write out things that you want it to look like, because then you're in the energy of like, I'm out of fear and now I'm feeling empowered about my birth experience. I'm like looking forward to it. And I look back after not even really recognizing until like a few weeks later being like, oh my gosh, I literally journaled out a pretty similar experience as to what I had. And so, yeah, this stuff can be used in all areas of your life, but it's just writing. So journaling is just like, first of all, try gratitude journaling. Just being, I think that is the number one thing to just start. If you've never done anything like it, journaling, just literally write 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. Your brain, the highest vibration in your body is gratitude. When you're in a state of gratitude and love and thankfulness, you cannot feel fear. You cannot feel like sad. You can't feel any low vibrational energies or emotions. All you can feel is like love and happiness and thankfulness. And so if you can start your day off like that, think about the power that might have as you like walk through your day. But the next thing that I would say is like, try journaling, putting a few things down. I know, Dorri, you've been doing this and you've been having some cool experiences happening.
Yep. I've been journaling, and you know, there again, when you and Angeline were talking about journaling, I'm like, what are they doing? They're just writing in a book. You know, I can think the same thing. And actually, I would do like the listening to you guys, and you'd say, okay, get your book and your pen out. And I'd be like, yeah, I'll just say it in my head.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's not good enough. It's not good enough. So then I thought, oh, I'll write them. I'll get my pen. And actually, I have been journaling about the new direction of this spa of mine. And when I set my mind to, okay, this is what I want. And that's the other thing too, being clear about what you want and then putting that down on paper. It has made such a huge difference. I have the people now coming into my life that I have been journaling about. I have the business making a little bit of a right-hand turn the way I want it to go. because of this. I truly believe it's because of the journaling and my mindset, right?
Mhm.
Like, you know, coming off of the last 18 months, obviously a lot of people in the same boat. It hasn't been an easy ride, but
Mhm.
there again, is the cup half empty or is it half full? I used my time in a positive manner, working on physical things to do with the spa or home or whatever, and myself. So there again, it all boils down to mindset and the decision on what you want it to be, half empty or half full. Of course, I'm not discarding any of the awful things that have happened to a lot of people in the last 18 months, but you have to take it upon yourself to use your time and to use the tools that you have in a positive way.
Mhm.
And
It's like
journaling is very
our,
positive.
yeah, taking your power back a bit and realizing we have a little bit more power because we can feel so powerless in these situations
Mhm.
of obviously like losing your job or losing a big portion of your pay or whatever it may be. And it obviously can feel like very draining, very all of not good emotions essentially. And the only way out is to start focusing on gratitude. Like even when life isn't good, that's when it's most important to be like grateful or to start looking for the little areas of your life. Like this isn't good, but I have my family and I have my grandkids. I love that time. And again, that's still like makes you look a little bit up, and I think that can help just like shift your energy, shift your mood. And yeah, just feeling like the clarity piece is so important. It's like directions. I always say, you know, think about if you were going somewhere, if you didn't have clear directions and exactly where you're going, you may get there, but it may take you way longer to get there. You might take this crazy detour and whatever, but if you are clear on where you're going, obviously you're going to get there faster. It's going to be easier on you and so forth. So in terms of your journaling, yeah, if you have always wanted to go on a trip and you've never been able to go on one, start like getting clear on like how much it would cost you and like who you want to be there and how you want to feel and where exactly you want to go, not just like a vacation. I think the more clarity we can have, the better. Or like Dorri, if she's looking for business and you want a shift or you want a certain type of person, write that out and get super clear so that when they actually apply, you're like, that is the type of person that I want. And you can start like putting that out to the world kind of thing. But yeah, journaling is one of my favorite things. I think I was the same way. We all start closed-minded before we like become open-minded. I remember being like journaling, like what? Like you write your emotions down. Like we don't really like look at our emotions or look at ourselves in the mirror enough. Like we just kind of go through life on autopilot, I think a lot of us. So when you have to stop and look at yourself in the mirror and maybe you're not really happy with where you are right now, so that's really uncomfortable. I think that that's the first like step to change is like actually just being okay with where you're at right now and
And
being
it's never,
and
sorry, it's never too late and it's never too early to get
yeah.
things started. Like, don't
Yeah.
think, oh, okay, I'm 63 or however old I am these days. It's too late. I'll just continue on my merry way. No, you can change. You can change today.
You can. You have to just make that decision that you want to change.
Yeah.
And then there you'll start finding the right people or the right things, or you're still like start doing things to make change. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we could talk about on this, but essentially mindset is a lot about your awareness, your thoughts up here, your language, your perspective on like, you know, your life and your world, and being open to wanting change, being clear on what that change is that you want in your life. And when I didn't know what that was for me, it was just being open and starting to like read a book that I wouldn't normally read on like confidence or mindset. Like you have to be willing to make changes in order to actually see change in your life. It's like if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dorri has done lots of changes in terms of business, and that's because she made the decision. She could have also sat at home during COVID and all the things, but you have done so much to work on yourself and your business and it goes to show now that you're back at work, like how much movement and stuff you've got going on, because you didn't sit saying like, poor me, when that was the easier thing to do, obviously. But
thank you.
yeah.
And I do
love
think
you.
that the making of the decisions and altering your mindset, that just naturally equals the motivation, because now you have it's almost like a new path, right? And you get excited about it, and it motivates you to move on to the next thing. And again, every time you meet that challenge, I mean, it can take time, and you do have to be realistic. You're not going to say, okay, I'm doing this tomorrow, when it's a 6-month changeover.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be honest and realistic with yourself as well. Otherwise, then you will back up and you will think, oh, this doesn't work, or now I'm depressed, or whatever. But to be realistic, to make the changes, change your mindset, or open your mind instead of being closed-minded, I think all of that equals motivation.
Agreed. And also, like, don't look sideways as to like who's here and what's going on. Like, I think in terms of fitness, everything, it's like one step at a time. The most fit person, you don't compare your chapter 1 to their chapter 20, as they always say, because everything starts with the little steps, the little willingness to make those changes. You have to maybe go for walks. You're not going for like marathons right off the bat. You're starting with walking, and find the fulfillment in each of those little steps that you're taking. Like, appreciate the journey along the way. In business, like, again, Dorri has a spa of how many years, but somebody starting their spa tomorrow might be like eager to get all the, clients that Dorri has, but it's like, it starts with one. It starts with one day, one step, one decision, and that's all you are in control of, is really like taking that first step and taking that next step one day at a time. And eventually you'll end up where you want to go if you don't give up.
Exactly. So if you had something to share with everyone that's looking at us today, what would be the number one first thing for them to say, okay, I'm going to change my mindset, or I'm going to open up my mind, to start something small? What could they do?
I think, again, just getting clear on, maybe get out a piece of paper, go grab your pen and paper, and literally just write down the first things that come to your mind. Because I want to say with journaling, do not judge yourself. There's no right or wrong. This is between you, your paper, that's it. No one needs to see it. It's like your own little diary journal. And just be honest with like areas I want to say that you are in alignment and you're feeling good, and the things that make you happy. And maybe the areas that you're just not feeling so happy about. I think that it's important to see the two. And just like the one thing you could do today to make a positive change, because it's going to look different for everyone, whether it's your wellness, whether it's your job, whether it's anything. But it's like getting clear what makes you happy, what you enjoy. I think a lot of times the reason we have no spark in us is because we are doing too much of the stuff that we don't enjoy, and not enough of like passions or hobbies or something that excites us. So just trying to be more aware of like, okay, if I feel my best when I'm working out or when I do something like that, I want to try and do more of that instead of like more of this. So my biggest thing would be just to become a little bit more aware of where you're spending your energy or your thoughts, just having a second to yourself, and then saying, what is one thing that I could do today to make a positive change? And just start there, and then the rest will flow.
Absolutely. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about your giveaway today?
Yeah.
Do a draw at the end of session, so let the viewers know what they can get from you today.
Okay, so I would love to offer a 30-minute mindset coaching call. Essentially, we would just hop on a call together, just chat about maybe an area that you want to make a change, maybe some, again, talking about your self-talk or what's been going on. It's super safe. It's just, you and I talking, and we will make a plan of action to make some subtle changes that will put you on the right path to wherever you want to be or go. And yeah, 30 minutes, it's super custom to your goals and your life and your situation. So it'll be fun. We can talk about tons of different things in 30 minutes. So
awesome. Okay, I have my little Miss Jazzy here, and she's going to help us out. She's been adding all of the names or handles, however you want to call them here in the Instagram world, onto a wheel. So how we do it is we just press la button, and then, woo, tap to spin. So here we are with our little spinning wheel.
This is like, what is it? Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah. Yeah, just call me, what was that girl's name?
Is it like Ivana or something? Or
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we have Little Blonde Story.
oh,
Little Blonde Story.
I see her right on here. Sarah.
All right. Congratulations to Sarah. So Sarah can contact you, Tonya?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, awesome. All right, before we call it a day, thank you so much, Tonya. That was very interesting, and thank you for all your mindset and motivation helping on the private sidelines too. I just wanted to say one thing too. What I noticed that was really important about journaling, sometimes I get something in my head and I keep going over and over and over with it, you know, and it helps so much just to write it down, get it out of my head so that I can, you know, get on with whatever else I need to be thinking about. So sometimes when you're like really either passionate or it's bothering you, or, you know, it just helps so much to just write it down, and then that way it's gone, and it usually just helps to sort out the situation anyway.
Okay, I have to share one last thing. So Dorri, myself, Angelin, we've all done this many times, but we did it at the cottage. We've done it different places, but it's like our own little ceremony. That note, I want you guys actually tonight to get a piece of paper, write down one thing you want to like burn, something that's been like on your heart, on your mind, driving you nuts. It feels like it's weighing you down. Maybe it's a habit. Maybe it's, I don't know, anything going on in your life that's just not serving you or not feeling good. Write it and burn it, or flush it down the toilet, rip it up into a million pieces, throw it out, do whatever you need to do to show. It's like honestly within your brain, I can't remember what it is, but it actually, when you write it down, there's power, and it's a signal between your head and your hand, but it shows you like, this is old, this is done with, we are like letting this go. And then we write down something positive that we want to welcome into our life, whether it's a word, it's an experience, it's whatever. And that is honestly one of the most powerful things, to just feel like you're done with that. Like, I'm over it, and now this is the new story that I want. This is the new energy. And we have our own little ceremonies every so often. Sometimes you just feel like, you know what, I need a fresh start here. Let's be done with it. And that's like one of the most fun little things that we do. We've done at the cottage. We've made the guys do it too, and they think we're crazy, but they always love it as well. After you do it, it feels so good. But I just want to say thank you to you, Dorri, for having me on.
No problem.
It was because you've been, I don't know, just such a solid person in all of our lives. But just to see what Dorri's doing, like at, I don't want to say her age, but she really is paving the way and setting such an insane, amazing tone for so many people to try something new, to keep doing like the Instagram thing, the this, the that. Like, you're constantly pivoting, you're constantly helping more people. How can I help more people? How can I do this? How can I do that? You're amazing.
Thank you.
Love you. Travis.
Thank you.
Hey. Okay.
Before we go, we're going to do our little draw for our monthly beauty box. So if you don't know how this works, all through the month of August, I have been sending out emails with regards to guest speakers or treatments or services that we now offer. And because I want you reading those emails, I will reward you. So I send you out the email. I ask you 5 questions. You send me back the answers. When the answers are correct, your name goes into our little draw box here. And we have today, I have a new esthetician as well. Her name is Harmeet, and she does eyebrow threading. I've seen her brows, and anyone that knows me knows I am the eyebrow queen. she's the eyebrow queen. Awesome job, beautiful. You must give it a try. So we're doing a gift certificate for a complimentary eyebrow threading. We are doing a gift certificate for our plasma light and CCEX. We are having our face massager and complimentary moisturizer from Monate. We also have a one-time cleanser and the cleansing utensil from Monate, and a body massage candle. Oh, Tonya, I forgot to tell you I got these in for Travis.
Yeah.
He's probably listening, so now he's going to know.
Yeah.
So guess what you'll be getting? Yes. All right, then. Let's get on and get this draw. Oh, goodness. Technology. Me and technology. Yay. All right. Click to spin. So I'm going to spin. I'll tell you what the prize is, and then I will do the draw. So first up, we have the plasma light and the CCEX. Terry S. Winner! They have sent me their email addresses, so I will contact you via, or Jazzy will contact you via email to let you know. Okay, next up, we have our massage candle. All right, Shania Diaz. We will contact you and you can pick up your candle. Next is the 4-in-1 facial massager. We have Leonella Bell. Okay. And then just 2 more to go. And don't forget, we do this the last Thursday of every month. So read your emails. So now this one is for the cleansing brush. Karen McBride. Woohoo, Karen. And the last one will be for the eyebrow shape and thread. Nisha Tran. Congratulations to all of our winners. We will contact you by phone or email today at some point, and we can make arrangements to book your appointments or give you your prizes. Thank you everyone for joining in today. I just want to mention next week we have Tej Rana joining us. She will be in-house to do some demonstrations. She is a certified 7-degree Reiki master. She is also a Feng Shui specialist and an ultimate stager. Her tagline is, she's in business to transform lives. Her work comes from love and compassion, and her top priority are her clients. So you will have the opportunity to meet with her next week. Please join us. Thank you very much. Have an awesome day. Until next week. And Dr. Lorraine, I hope you're having an awesome holiday. Cheerios. Bye-bye.